Welcome, guys. Welcome to the possibly teeny tiny, super mini, itty bitty podcast. This is the Radio Toons podcast. How's it going?
Good, man. How's it going?
I'm Steve.
I'm Ernie.
Today we have a super controversial topic to talk about.
Super controversial.
So controversial, it's gonna blow your fucking mind right now. Okay? I'm actually half serious about this. I'm actually half serious. Donald Duck has a real voice, okay?
Okay.
Donald Duck has a regular fucking voice.
What?
Okay?
No.
Confirmed?
Confirmed?
Yeah, confirmed. Now, okay. So, this is what happened, okay?
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's Don Cheadle, okay? And if you're thinking...
Wait,
okay,
you're talking War Machine?
Yeah, if you're War Machine. Oh, he must do some kind of funny voice, or at least try to sound like a duck in some way. No, that's not the case.
No.
Okay, so what's the fucking Gizmo Duck? Gizmo Duck is a smart one that makes shit, right?
No, Gizmo Duck is the superhero that Fenton turns into.
Okay, so Fenton Quack, or
Fenton Quack, yeah.
whatever the fuck his name is. Okay.
Yeah.
As you can see, I am a hardcore fan. In the new DuckTales reboot that's on Disney XD right now, he comes out now. He's part of the show, and there's a little gag where they're on a boat and they can't understand what Donald Duck is saying, and it's like a crucial time. They need him to say something or something stupid like that. No one can understand him.
Okay.
And so Fenton's like, I'm tired of this shit, and he just pulls out this little weird device that Donald Duck swallows.
He ingests it?
Yeah, and all of a sudden he can talk normal, and his normal voice is Don Cheadle.
It's Sir Don Cheadle.
Yeah, so, okay. Why is it Sir Don Cheadle?
It just sounded nice.
I don't know if it's going to be like a gag, you know? If it's going to be like, oh, Donald's fucking throat thing's on the fritz, so now he's all stupid again or whatever, but I just would like to know, what was the... I don't hate change. You know, the new Ninja Turtles looks pretty cool, but why would you go from like this creative, iconic voice that is Donald Duck to Don Cheadle, just like a normal ass man?
I don't know how bad we can judge it, considering I don't think it's just gonna be Don Cheadle's voice.
It is.
You've heard it already?
Watch the clip, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, and look, see, that's the other thing too, is like if this was Play Toons. Mm-hmm. I'd put up the clip right now so you could watch it. Mm-hmm. But this is just all audio, so you just imagine Don Cheadle speaking over Donald Duck, and that's it.
Don the Cheadles.
Yeah.
So that means that you could theoretically put any of the Avengers stuff
to Donald Duck
and like lip sync it over any Donald Duck clip, and it should work, right?
Yeah. You know what? I don't know. Like Huey, Dewey, and Louis, they always had a... I said Louis? Louis.
The forgotten older brother.
Huey, Dewis, and Louis. Their voices were whatever, right? They kind of sounded a little squeaky.
They all sound about the same.
Yeah. This time around, they chose Ben Schwartz for one of them, and I was like, okay, he actually kind of fits.
I believe he's Dewey?
Like a little duck, doesn't he?
Uh-huh.
He kind of sounds like a little kid. So I was like, okay, that fits. But I don't know how I feel about this, you know? Whatever. I guess it works. What I don't even watch the show.
They're really trying to do something different with this DuckTales because they rebooted it, so they knew they were gonna get a lot of flack. Right. They followed more of the comic book color style.
Yeah.
With having like Scrooge McDuck in red and black.
Yeah. Apparently that's like the Karl Barks way of doing it, where like they use more black because it looks like an inky comic book. Mm-hmm. And even the backgrounds have like newspapery texture on them,
right?
To look like newsprint or something like that.
So they took a risk there because they thought, well, people are familiar with the TV show more than the comic, but let's try and shine some light on the comic.
Yeah,
they're doing the whole thing where like, where are these kids' mom? Where's that person? So they're diving into that. I feel like they're taking a lot of risks.
Yeah, you know what? It's we watched the first episode.
Yeah.
And I actually really enjoyed it, but it's how do I say? If you don't make something easy as fuck for me to watch, I'm not gonna watch it.
Right.
So
it is pretty difficult to watch things on Disney.
I am just a brain dead idiot. If you make my brain burn any kind of calories, I'm just not gonna do anything. Okay, so you need to just feed it into my eyeballs, or else I won't do anything. If it's on Netflix, I'll watch it.
Right.
But if you're gonna make me go on DisneyXD.com and type in this TV password thing, I'm not gonna do that.
Nope. Not gonna do it.
But yeah, anyway, so I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was really strange.
It's a risk. I'll give you that. I'm not so married to the Donald Duck voice because it's forever that he's been doing that voice, and I'm kind of like, I get it. Some purists are gonna be like, that's not what Donald sounds like. I was like, I don't care.
Well, I'm more in the realm of like, it takes skill to do a voice like that.
Sure.
Don Cheadle, I called him Donald Cheadle.
Donald Cheadle.
He's just talking. Like
I know, but think about it this way, okay? Here's why it doesn't bother me. Tell me the lore of Donald Duck outside of his voice.
Well, he was a World War II veteran.
No.
And he came home.
No.
And he had flashbacks.
None of that happened.
That's why he's angry.
No,
I know. I don't know.
See, there's not a lot of lore there aside from the three things that identify him. He's a duck. He's a sailor. Yep. He's got the voice. Right.
He gets mad.
He has a bit of a temper, I guess.
Yes.
But
what do you mean? I guess that's iconic about him.
Whatever. Anyway, you take away one of those things, and it's like, yes, the rest of it is fine. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Just give it a chance. And now that you can understand him, you don't have to have anybody like subtitle him or anything. It just feels like a necessary change to me.
I don't feel like it's necessary.
I feel like it's necessary. I'm tired of hearing that voice. I'm tired of it, everybody.
Are you really?
Tired of hearing that Donald Duck voice.
You're actually tired of it, really?
I'm actually really tired of it because it's like, it feels like, you know when somebody has something in their throat?
Yeah.
That's what it's always sounded like to me. And I was like, this is the stupidest voice.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know what it sounds like.
A duck.
It's iconic.
Yes, I know
it's iconic.
Yes, it's iconic. Thank you. But I'm just like, if you're going to change it, if you're going to reboot something, if you're going to do something so drastic, you might need to take a lot of risks, you know? Like,
hire a voice actor, maybe, you know?
No, but like,
there's a lot of people out there that want to be voice actors, and they just lost it all to Don Cheadle.
Well, he's a big name.
Is he?
He is, yeah. He's in Avengers, dude.
If they had a War Machine movie, how many people would go watch that?
It was called Iron Man 2.
Yeah, right.
It was called Iron Man 2.
You know what? Donald Duck should have been Terrence Howard. That's all I got. That's what I got to say about this.
But no, yeah. Listen, they rebooted a bunch of stuff. Some have not risked in the right area, like the Powerpuff Girls remake. They could have had the same actresses playing the Powerpuff Girls. They would have sounded exactly the same.
It's a little bit different.
That reboot is awful.
That's a little bit different because even like, no offense to Tara Strong, but she just, I don't think she has like a wide range of characters in her.
I mean, they all sound similar.
They're all kind of like squeaky and like.
Sure, but it's like the same thing with that one dude that plays like every single white guy in every video game. What's his name?
What are you talking about?
Not Terrence. It's like
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker. Thank you.
Yeah,
he plays every freaking white.
Well, yeah. If you
video
want
game,
if you want a white man as your lead role,
yeah,
you get Troy Baker. That's
okay. If you want a cuddly, squeaky voice, who do you call?
Yeah,
exactly. So
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying Powerpuff Girls to me are not as iconic as something like Donald Duck.
Well, I mean, it depends when you grew up. Because if you grew up with just like Cartoon Network, not so much Disney, then the Powerpuff Girls.
And look, let me say this too. A lot of people can do that Donald Duck voice. It
seems like a lazy voice.
I don't feel like it's lazy. I feel like developing it in general took some skill.
Yeah, well, we'll agree to disagree on that one.
You straight up think this is a no-skill voice. You think it's a hack voice.
No, I'm just saying for somebody that does voices, it's an easy voice to do.
Well, what I was going to get at was a lot of people can do that voice. Why wouldn't they just have it where it's like...
Maybe they're just...
Shut up. Hold on for a second. Oh. You never let me finish thoughts. Give me 1 sec, okay? He does the Donald Duck voice, but he does it a little less. You know, like he could still talk normally, but or something like that. Like, I don't know. It just... Don Cheadle, You're telling me that's not a lazy decision? Hey, we got this guy on from the Marvel films. Let's just use him. I think he died in Infinity War, so let's just throw him in here while he's doing nothing. I don't know. It just... Whatever. Iron Man's done. What else is he going to do, right? Like, it just... I don't know. Just look for a voice actor, maybe, you know? Maybe do that. I don't know. Anyway.
I'm just tired of that voice, Steve. I'm tired of hearing it over and over and over again. They've even changed Bug's voices over the years.
Yeah, but his is also very, like... I wouldn't say generic, but, like, Billy West at one point was doing, like, Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd or something in one cartoon.
Yeah. Not
to mention, he was, like, Ren and Stimpy at one point as well. He was just both of them.
That guy has a lot of range, though.
Yeah, Billy West is a little bit different. Like, I don't know how he goes from, like, Bugs Bunny all the way to fucking, what's his name? Zap Brannigan?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Fry. Yeah, to Fry. Like, you can hear it a little bit. You can hear the similarities in his voice a little bit, but yeah. Or, like, Rob Paulson is like, how do you go from fucking Yakko to Pinky? It's like...
Quite easily, according to him.
Dude, that is fucking ridiculous to me.
I don't know. I think Donald Duck's not... He's just not that big of a player to me.
Well, okay, let me put it this way, okay? Since we got on the subject of Animaniacs voice actors... It's like, what if in this new Animaniacs reboot, they just hire actors and have them do their normal voices? That wouldn't piss anybody off. I think that would piss people off a little bit. Like,
depends on who the actors are.
Okay, who would you like to see? Let's say Yakko, for instance.
Who would I like to see?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
I'd like...
How about this?
Probably Jake and Amir from College Humor.
Okay, what the hell?
And for the girl, I would pick...
For the girl, she's got a name.
Emily Clark. Just the College Humor cast doing the thing.
Emily Clark is not a... Emily Axford?
Axford, sorry. Yeah. Emily Axford. Her doing Dot. Just why not?
Okay.
Because you're not... See, here's the thing. You're not going to get those three guys back, right? The new Animaniacs reboot has them back?
I don't know. No,
if it does or doesn't, like...
That's my point, is that the original voice actors did voices. Tress MacNeille is the crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
And she's also Dot. Like,
yeah, I know, you can hear it.
There's some craziness there. There's a bit of work in those voices.
I mean, do I want the original voice actors back for Animaniacs? Of course I do.
I don't care. I just want them to hire a real fucking voice actor, you know?
Yeah, but like...
This is what amazes me about voice actors, okay? When I see a cartoon and I'm like, wow, that's cool, that's a crazy voice. And I go to a convention or I see them on TV in an interview and I see them do the voice, I'm blown away.
Okay.
Instantly. I'm like, that's fucking amazing. That's like something inspirational. Kids see that on TV and they're like, I want to do that for a living, you know? Right. That's inspirational. Don Cheadle is Don Cheadle everywhere.
Why are you hitting on... No, first of all, Don Cheadle is not always Don Cheadle.
Okay.
Because if you remember, in Ocean's 11, he does an accent.
He does a really bad accent, yeah.
Okay.
A really bad accent.
All right. Listen, I'm not here to defend Don Cheadle.
Okay.
Right? I'm here to just say he's a great actor. I like him in the roles that he's in.
Who's paying you?
Don Cheadle Estates is paying me.
Who's paying you for this? Whatever. Anyway, another controversial topic. This is just filled with controversial topics today. The illustrious.
Illustrious?
Yeah, let's call him that. James Gunn was taken off of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Can you believe this?
For why, Steve?
For why?
For why? For why, Steve?
Apparently he said some pretty offensive stuff 9 years ago on Twitter.
Okay.
I don't know what the tweets are. Probably can't read them out loud here.
No, probably not.
But
two things I've noticed.
Okay.
One, they said offensive.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say racist.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, when they target these kind of things or they say whatever, they always are quick to point out sexist or sexist or racist.
Uh-huh.
But this was just offensive.
Right.
So my guess it was like he said something just offensive. I don't know what you could say that's offensive, but because it's not sexist or racist, I think and he did apologize, by the way.
He thought he was in the clear, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying he thought he was in the clear. It's just not in the same category as some of these other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody drops an N-word or says something about a certain group of people, that you can't take lightly, you know? And what's funny is, like, okay, so he got taken off of Guardians, like you said.
Hold on. Okay, yeah.
Wait, let me make this point. Hold on.
What?
It's like he got taken off Guardians, and then people are like, dude, he apologized for it a long time ago.
Yeah.
He was a different person 10 years ago. He was trying to be, like, do the shock humor kind of thing.
Yeah.
And people are like, you know what, let's get him back on there. This was kind of like, we understand why you did it, but let's bring him back, blah, blah, blah. And then Roseanne Barr tweeted and she's like, what the hell?
Well, I didn't want to get to that yet. Well, yeah, it's like, that's two
I was like, that's different.
Those are two pretty completely different things.
Yeah. Not to mention, it was like, hers is pretty racially charged.
And
then she tried every excuse to, like, say, no, that's not true, or I apologize, or
she's a fucking idiot.
I was drunk, or I was on Ambien, all this kind of stuff. And then at the end, she's just like, what the heck, man? Why didn't anybody come to my defense? I was like, well, yours was really bad.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Roseanne is a horrible show, so let's just get... No, I don't watch that show. I don't give a shit. I just thought that was hilarious, though, that she lost her show based on a tweet.
That's great.
It's like, how often does that have to happen for people to realize, like, hey, maybe you watch what you say on Twitter, because...
Yeah, because the internet, as much as people want to say, if I delete it, it's gone, it's like, well...
That's kind of what pisses me off about the James Gunn thing, is, like, he didn't delete the tweet or something, or what the fuck happened?
I'm not sure.
Like...
I'm sure it's just like, dude, go back 10 years in your Twitter, and you're just like, I don't even remember saying that.
Yeah.
You know, people say, in like one of our podcasts, we talked about how Will Smith's kid says a bunch of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's on the internet forever. Until he goes back and combs through all those tweets and deletes them. But in 10 years, be like, hey, you remember when you tweeted this?
I believe he deleted his Twitter account.
Did he?
And then he got a new one.
I'm sure that information is somewhere.
No, I'm sure it is, but at least he went through the trouble of deleting it, you know? So it's like...
Well, that's
if you want to go archive all of his fucking tweets, and
I'm
you
sure
should get a life.
Has. No, I'm sure somebody has, especially considering a lot of people would, like, screenshot them and put them up.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be on the internet forever.
Yeah, it's all gold, I assume.
You know, but you know, people don't learn that on the internet is forever. They just don't learn it.
Yeah, initially when I heard the news about James Gunn, I was extremely fucking sad. But now it's like, what can I do? There's nothing. Like,
they signed the petition.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, like, it doesn't really make sense that they fire him, but John Lasseter's still employed.
Well, that's Disney. Very true, considering that they, like...
Makes no fucking sense how they pick and choose these things, and
Somebody was saying it was easier for them to let go of James Gunn because he's super expensive now. And, like, for Guardians 3, if they wanted to go with a different director or something in his contract, maybe he was already slated to do 3.
I think the head of accounting dug up that tweet and said, hey, you know...
that way you can save you some money.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and put this out there and see what happens, huh?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we want to jump right here, but, like, you and me watched the Chappelle Show special. And he made kind of a... Like, not that... Like, that was recorded years ago, but he made something in it that kind of references this. It was just like, you can't blame somebody for something they told you that they did. And then when you bring it back into the light a couple of days later or whatever, like, he was like, what if I went to the club and I had sex with this big fat girl and I told my boys about it, hey, dude, and they're like, oh, that's crazy, Dave. And then a couple of days later, he shows them a tape of him doing it, and they're just like, oh, that's not cool, man. He's like, but I told you I did it. You know, I already apologized for it or whatever. And it's like, that's kind of what it is. You know what I mean?
I suppose, but mine, it's like, no one's the same person they were fucking 10 years ago. It just makes no sense to me. It's like, he put it out there, right, and he apologized for it 10 years ago. You're going to bring it up 10 years later. And it's like, okay, what's the point? It's like, it's more offensive now. He already made his statement about it. Like,
yeah. And you know, it's funny that Justin Roiland had a similar, incident happen, but his was like this really offensive video that he ended up taking down, and he deleted like all of his Twitter about it and all that stuff. And then Adult Swim was like, it's not, that kind of comedy is not what we're about. You know, the video's been taken down. Justin has apologized for it, and we're sorry for anybody who has seen it, but, you know, blah, blah, blah. He didn't get fired. We're still going to get Rick and Morty Season 4.
Well,
we're all good.
First of all, that show and Eric Andre are probably the reason Adult Swim still exists.
You think Eric Andre is that big?
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I can't go 10 feet without hearing some stupid like Eric Andre reference or like
Bird up.
Some like meme referencing him or something. It's just whatever. No, I don't really care. But Justin Roiland, I guess that happened with him. I just whatever. He's a pretty offensive dude.
Yeah, I mean it's
from what I assume that he started back on like Newgrounds.
Right, yeah.
Because that's where like Aaron knows him from and stuff like that. So just go through anything on Newgrounds and it's this fucking cesspool of like of ridiculous shit. So I mean,
Yeah, I think it's dumb to look at a comedian and not expect to find anything offensive. Uh-huh. I mean, racist, xenophobic, all that other stuff, like sexist. That's a little different.
Uh-huh.
But comics are usually people that say things that try to be shocking, but not necessarily like racist. You know what I mean?
Well,
like they're not trying to do that. They're trying to be funny.
I think it's different with comedians too, because like in Justin Roiland's case, it's like he's a comedian, I guess, right? That's what you want to consider him.
I would say he does comedy. I wouldn't consider a comedian.
Well, in my head, I'm just thinking like, well, yeah, that's what you do as a comedian. You try a bunch of shit and it might fail, but you try a bunch of shit because you can't just keep doing what everybody else is doing in comedy. You have to be new and you have to surprise people and all this stuff.
Right.
And it to me, it's like what if Disney said like, hey, Chris Sanders, we heard that you did a DeviantArt drawing of a cat man taking a shit on a dog woman. We don't like that, so we're gonna have to go ahead and fire you. Like that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Like he was in a stage in his life maybe where he was experimenting with different shit because that's what his career.
Maybe he needed to eat and somebody commissioned him to do like that. That's what needed $100.
Yeah, it's like. It has that kind of demand, you know, like different careers have different demands. In the case of James Gunn, I don't know. Was he trying to be funny? Well, I don't know what the tweet was about, but it's a shame. That's the gist of it. It's a fucking shame.
Yeah.
But in lighter news, Comic-Con happened, and we got no news out of it whatsoever. Okay.
Okay. I'm good with that.
No, there was a Shazam trailer. I don't know if you saw that picture I posted, but the actor that plays him is
No, I know who it is. It's Chuck.
It's what? It's Chuck?
Chuck.
Okay. You like that guy or what?
I liked him in Chuck.
Okay. I thought
that suit looks ridiculous on him.
I thought he looked kind of a douchebag. His head looks kind of small.
He doesn't look like a douchebag. It just doesn't look like he's. I mean, hopefully it'd be cool if he was ripped like that, and it's not a suit, but it looks kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was telling you that like if I'm being honest, I probably still won't watch it, but the schlockiness of it is a bit more appealing to me than like some stupid gritty, fucking like dark themed DC movie. So I was like, okay, why not? It looks cool.
I still like. I'm just kind of tired of DC doing these things and trying to raise my hopes that this will be a good movie.
When have they ever raised your hopes?
When they did Batman vs Superman, I was like, dude, this is gonna be good. They're gonna fight each other.
Really?
And it's gonna be all dope, like the cartoon version of it. And it's just not like that at all. Like the Dark Knight Returns. And then he spoilers, and he dies. And then they bring out Justice League, and I'm like, first of all, like I understand what you guys are trying to do.
Did you watch Batman vs Superman?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it on such a crappy little YouTube screen. It was terrible.
Why did you watch it there?
Because I was like, I need to watch this because so many people have told me it's garbage, but I need to see why it's so garbage.
You watched like a pirate? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
How do you judge a movie? Whatever. Okay. Anyway.
Listen, it's not like I was gonna pay money to watch that. It's awful. It's like the whole thing. First of all, I don't want to get into a whole review of this.
I don't want to have this. Yeah, I don't want to have this conversation.
But
at
like,
all.
Just the fact that they had 3 iconic characters and they barely spend any time with 2 of them who have not been introduced in this world. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, come on. And then all Superman does is stand around and get pissed at people. He seems like a villain in there. I was like, how do you make Superman the villain?
Well, you kind of have to.
In his second movie.
You kind of one of them had to be the villain.
That's not necessarily true.
No?
No. So in the... I'm not trying to get into a whole thing, but like in the comic, there was a great the Dark Knight Returns. They fight each other because they have to. Their ideologies clash. Mm-hmm. But the scene before they start fighting, they're out and they're having a good time. They're riding horses. Mm-hmm. They're out in a field and they're having a civil discussion about why they have to fight. Okay. But why couldn't they do something like that? Instead, it's just like, do you bleed?
I don't know.
You will.
I'm sorry.
And I'm just like,
I said, I don't want to have this conversation. I haven't watched
this one. This one, it seems like
what they're trying to do is
they're trying to do like a super light version of Shazam, where it's like, hey, look, I'm a kid, but now I'm an adult. So it's like big, but like in a way that he can just go back and forth between his adulthood and his childhood.
That's what the story is?
No. I mean, the kid can turn into Shazam by screaming out
That's
Shazam.
What it is?
Yeah.
Okay, because I saw him walking around with the kid, and I was like, does the kid control Shazam?
No, I believe...
So that's like his friend? He's just hanging out with his friend?
I think that's the case. Because in the comics, that's what happens. He says Shazam, a lightning bolt strikes him, and he changes into Shazam. Okay.
I can see where DC had trouble trying to make some of these into, like, real movies and stuff. I think that the concepts are a bit dated. But why they should just update shit, Like, I don't know what to tell them.
Listen, it could be a great movie, it could not be, but right now it's like the trailer looked fun.
You know what?
And that's the only thing I can give them is like it looked fun. I hope it stays fun. That guy's a good actor. It looked a little jank, but I like him.
You like Ant-Man, right? That's that goes without saying. That's right. Obvious. We were informed recently that Hank Pym is Ant-Man in the comic books, always. Mm-hmm. And, like, he's a scientist dude, whatever. It's research, all that garbage. Marvel opted not to do that with this new timeline. Right. Smart decision, It's like, you have enough geeky scientist guys on that team, make Ant-Man a fucking ex-con who's funny and witty and, like, gets into trouble and stuff. Mm-hmm. Do something like that with one of your fucking DC superheroes, dude. Like make them different in some way. Like, I don't know.
They're doing that with Wonder Woman. They're gonna throw it back to the '60s. I believe is the next Wonder Woman.
Oh, really?
Because in the last Wonder Woman, I believe she's like 1920s or something, and now she's gonna be in the '60s. So it's like they're trying something with Wonder Woman. The first one I keep hearing is really great. I haven't gone to watch it. But that was probably the one win for, like, DC, was they had a great Wonder Woman movie.
I heard it was a decent film, but people, like, overhyped it just because it was the only decent film.
Could be. I haven't watched it. I don't know. It's because, like, I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's DC fatigue, but I'm just like, stop. Just please stop. And then they did the Aquaman trailer.
I didn't watch it.
Which sounds like Thor underwater. Okay. I'm royalty in the sea. And Thor was royalty in Asgard.
Okay, I get it. Like, yeah. They said, "Hey, look at them. They're doing good."
He has his shirt off and he has long hair.
Let's do that.
We could do that. We got a guy that does that.
They slapped on the table. Do that. Do it what they're doing. Do that. So there you go.
Also, Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but they dropped the
N-word.
Titans.
Okay.
Trailer.
I heard that was fucking vomit. Somebody said like their emotions went from like extremely happy to the Shazam, like watching the Shazam trailer, to like nauseating when they saw the Titan.
Yeah, it's like, think of the worst things that could possibly be said in a trailer, especially when like Robin shows up on screen. What's the one thing that a super pissed off Robin would say?
Fuck Batman.
That's exactly what
he says. Are you serious?
He says that. He says that in the trailer. I called it too. I was like, my friend Anna, she was just like, you gotta watch this. And I saw I saw the picture before it, and it's like a really pissed off looking Robin. I was like, that looks like he's gonna say screw Batman. And I was like, well, it's like a rated R. Kind of like, oh, he's gonna say fuck Batman in there. And
wait, you can say fucking trailers?
No, it's a streaming service, and yeah, you can.
Oh shit.
It looks awful. It looks awful because it's like everybody's involvement in the thing is so artificial. It's completely like the trailer's super dark, and it's like these are the Titans, these are the Teen Titans, and they're like young, right?
Yeah.
Also, Robin shoots people
with a gun.
With a gun.
Okay.
Because one of the guys has a gun, and after he shoots everybody, he's like, "Hey, where's Batman?" And he's kicking all their butts and shooting them apparently. And after that, he goes like, "Fuck Batman."
Oh wow!
And they're like, "What? Did he say that? What?"
That's pretty insane, dude.
And like Raven, of course, what's happened? Take a guess at what's happened with Raven.
She's just dark and emo.
Exactly, and she's just like this power. Power that consumes me, and I'm like, okay.
So it's pretty bad.
It's super bad, and then it's like it's on this exclusive streaming service that nobody's gonna watch.
So it's not. Is it a show or is it a movie?
It's a series.
Oh, that's
so it's
great.
gonna be a lot. And by the way, I thought, not confirmed. I tried to see if there was anything online, but I thought I saw a glimpse of Joker. Like I saw a young Joker. I'm like, I think I saw it, okay? Because
of course,
and I'm like, how many Jokers do we have in the world right now? We had the Heath, all right? We had the Leto.
No, you're gonna start with Caesar. Caesar Romero.
No. As of right now, living and in production right now. You got the Leto.
You got Caesar Romero.
Okay.
Are
you gonna do this?
Jack Nicholson.
Are you gonna do this right now? Okay. I'm talking about right now in movies.
Yeah, Heath Ledger.
Heath
is dead.
You got the Jared. You got the Joaquin Phoenix. You got Zach Galifianakis.
What are you talking about?
He's the Lego Movie Batman Joker.
Okay, that isn't okay.
And Joaquin Phoenix is doing his own standalone Joker movie. Jared Leto is going to come back as Joker.
There's only like 3 in circulation. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. Well, there's one also. I believe there's one in Gotham.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then I guess this one.
Why don't they just use the same goddamn actors? Like, what is wrong with it?
I actually am just like tired of seeing the Joker. Can we just stop with the Joker? Yeah. You have so many other villains who may not be as poignant, but you can give them their own show and they can do stuff with it. Like tying it back to the James Gunn thing. Guardians of the Galaxy was a risk. Nobody knew who they were.
Right.
Okay, nobody knew anything. Like, most people, if you told them Guardians of the Galaxy, you'd be like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
They took that and look what they did with it. They made it great.
Is Guardians the movie that Red Letter Media said came out during Suicide Squad, and then Suicide Squad's trailer changed drastically after they...
Yes.
Okay.
Because they saw, like, Suicide Squad originally was, like, this dark and like gritty looking.
Ooh, nice! Never heard of
this. Like the trailer was what, and the Suicide Squad like logo was all steel and gritty and fire. And then when they switched it to the one with the song and the music, all of a sudden it's purple and it's like all bright colorful, blah blah,
neon lights and shit. Okay.
But look what they were able to do when they had nothing to conform to, right?
I heard
Joker, because always Joker.
I heard that people were hoping for a Zack Snyder cut of something. What was it? I think it was the Justice League Zack Snyder cut. People were waiting for that to be announced at Comic-Con or something, and it didn't get announced. And I was like,
why would you want that?
I was like,
why would
you guys are waiting for a cut of a movie that already exists? Just let that shit die. Like, I don't.
Well, how could you possibly save that movie?
I don't know. It's like the people that are trying to reshoot The Last Jedi. Did you hear about that? They're gonna reshoot the whole movie, dude.
There's 2 versions of Superman 2, I believe. There's like a Richard Donner version, and then there's the real version, whatever. Both of those movies are just fine, and it's not like it changes it all that much.
Is it really? I didn't know that, actually.
It's just one of those things, man. Like, I don't care.
Superman, I think historically has pretty bad movies. I seem to enjoy them all, actually. I remember watching Superman Returns. Look, I told you already. I like big, strong dudes doing cool shit.
I'm gonna let that sit for a minute.
Yeah, I remember. You've said that before. I remember watching Superman Returns. I got it for $1 in like this crane machine thing. It was like $1 movies, and they were all Superman Returns. And I grabbed it. Lucky me, right? I went home and I watched it, and I was like, it wasn't even that bad. I like seeing Superman fly around and stuff. I don't care. Whatever.
Listen, Steve.
What?
We're not gonna get into that because like that movie was awful.
Yeah, I know it was awful. I'm just telling you I still enjoyed it. I'm just telling you I still enjoyed it. You know what's funny? Let me just throw this out there. There was a piece of advertisement for Supergirl. Did you see it?
I did not see it.
It said so. Superman's gonna be. He's gonna make a guest appearance on Supergirl.
With a mustache or without the mustache?
Yeah, okay, whatever. And it's Superman is coming in Supergirl. That's what it said. It said Superman is coming in Supergirl. Now
that's not real.
How did that get past everyone?
Everyone in that. That's not real, Steve.
Well, okay.
Somebody's fooled you.
Yeah, granted, I saw it on Tumblr, but people were just like, "There's no way. Why would they fucking do this?" Yeah, it's possible. It might be.
They're related.
What do you mean? Mm-hmm.
Superman and Supergirl are related.
What do you not get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but that's so disgusting.
Like they're making a reference.
I know.
No, I'm sorry. They're not making a reference. What am I saying? They just want you to know that Superman's gonna be on this show.
I know that. Oh boy, this thing's gone off the rails, Steve.
That was pretty funny. That was a good laugh. So Comic-Con, nothing pretty much. Zilch coming out of the Marvel wasn't there. Right?
No, not Marvel.
They opted out this year. They said we don't want to be there.
No Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they're all done. They're all done shooting.
What does that mean?
They're all done. The series is done shooting.
So the series is going to end now, or what?
Next year is going to end.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah. Finally, I can hear people stop talking about this show.
They're going to be talking about it even more. Johnny Depp came out dressed up as the dude he's going to play in Fantastic Beasts 2. He gave this monologue, and everybody was kind of uneasy.
Okay.
Because, like, his ex-wife was there, too.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
it's just like,
doesn't this guy, like, mistreat women or something?
There's, like, a lukewarm reception
people
of
are just
being in that movie.
I don't think people are just okay with that. I think they're going to give some flack for that one.
Give a little bit of flack.
Okay, you know what? Actually, I thought Fantastic Beasts came out already.
Not two.
But they released a trailer during Comic-Con apparently.
Right.
That had all these little references. Like I guess they showed the mirror or something. The fucking infamous mirror from Harry Potter where you right. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. It's gonna be out in like November, and I was like, cool. If you didn't get enough Harry Potter out of like fucking 8 movies, here you go. Here's more Harry Potter for you.
That's when you need Harry Potter, man.
Yeah,
you need more Harry Potter.
The story's done.
Even though it has nothing to do with Harry Potter.
It kind of does.
No.
Well, Dumbledore's in it. Okay. Is that not related enough to Harry Potter?
It's before I even knew him.
No, I know, but like we were talking about this.
It has more to do with the universe than
we were talking about this before. Is like all the dusty old crap that's in the attic at Hogwarts, they can make it new here.
Right. I mean, if they want to expand the universe, go right ahead. It just adds more characters to the roster,
They're not. Well, yeah, okay. I was gonna say but it's almost like since they're doing it as a prequel, it's like how many people can they add, And it's like, are they gonna add these characters and then digitally add them in the background of like the Harry Potter films?
But like all the characters they have, but besides what they do or don't add. Remember, a lot of them live for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Dumbledore
was old already in that movie, so it's like, he could live for ages.
Wait, how far back is this film?
I haven't watched it, but I just know it takes place way before when the Ministry and Hogwarts are like.
There has to be James Potter somewhere in there. He's got to be like
in
his dad's sack or something.
Like, in his dad's sack.
Yeah, and they're gonna. I swear, and they're gonna.
I don't know who the grandfather of James Potter.
They're gonna make
the father of James Potter is. So I don't know.
Fuck.
Here's your opportunity to make a joke.
I was trying to. I was
missed it.
Well, anyway, they will, dude. I swear to God, they're gonna make it like they're like, oh, last name. You're like he's gonna be at the train station or something. Last name, Potter, and everyone's gonna be like, oh, what the fuck? Oh shit! Right? No?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with them, and it's talking about the book that they used for research in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right.
You know,
maybe one of these characters will get a spin-off too. They'll branch it off into another trilogy or another whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
If they want to expand the universe, go right ahead. I know people are clamoring for that, so it's all good.
Did you play any video games this week, Ernie?
Not really.
You didn't?
I had started a new job, so it's been pretty busy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I played something, not a traditional game.
Okay.
This is a video game that you play on your telephone. Can you believe that? On your telephone.
Oh, you were playing Fortnite, Steve?
Why? Yeah. I saw a picture actually of this guy who said, my wife was in labor, but my crew needed a fourth, so I had to hop on. And it was him playing on a monitor in the hospital or something.
That's stupid.
And I just thought
I already think this is stupid, by the way.
It's just I can't play this game. There's no way I could do this now. Look at how popular it is. There's no I can't do this. No way. Granted, I don't just hate on shit because it's popular. It's just that nah, I can't. It's so normal to play Fortnite. It just sickens me. My natural instinct is just to be different.
Right.
And I just can't. I just can't do that. No, I was playing Paladins Strike.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's Paladins, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what Paladins is? A first-person shooter.
You told me it's kind of a.
But it looks like a MOBA. Yeah, so it's like a top-down, where you move your character around and stuff.
Oh, okay. This is different then. Yeah.
So just imagine if you're playing a first-person shooter. What first-person shooters do you play? First of all.
As of right now,
yeah.
The last thing I played first-person shooter, let me try to think.
Is Vermintide a first-person shooter?
It kind of is, but it's like a Left 4 Dead kind of thing. It's mostly...
Is it a first-person shooter, though?
Yes.
Okay, so just imagine that you're MOBA-style camera,
mm-hmm.
right? You're looking top-down, but everything's the same. Your abilities are there. The way you shoot is it's kind of like Smash TV, where you use one of the joysticks to shoot in a direction,
and you point in that.
And the other one is you're walking around one.
Okay.
So it's using the dual stick.
None of this is first person shooters, Steve.
No, what I'm telling you is that your character's there and your abilities are there.
Okay.
So in Paladins, the abilities that you have in Paladins are still there.
Oh, I see.
They just work a tad bit different.
They're just top down.
Yeah, because it's top down. So it's actually pretty cool. And it's free. There's not even ads on it. I don't understand how they made this game without ads, because every game I download is ads everywhere.
How do you expect them to make money then?
Paladins?
No, with no ads. That is kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. That's
ads.
what I'm saying. It's how is this possible?
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying it right now, actually. I'm having fun with it. Because I've always liked the characters in Paladins, but it's just for me personally, it's when I hop on my computer, it's I'm just going to play Overwatch. To have two different games going, it's I already got a first-person shooter, basically, is what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying, So this is my mobile game that I can play on my lunch break or something. Yeah, and it's pretty fun.
That's kind of nice.
And it's got that... these login bonuses or whatever, so all this.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, it's all this.
Good. Log in every day and get a bonus crate.
All this mobile crap, right?
Loot boxes.
All the formulas, yeah. I also watched a movie this week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, can you believe that?
I can't.
I watched a little movie called Casino. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but it's Martin Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
And it's essentially just a longer version of Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
You said you watched it, right? You watched it before?
I watched it way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And to be quite honest, Casino, all three of the Godfathers,
mm-hmm.
And there's another movie I can't remember right now. It's It's Godfather, and then
what? Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. They all blend together.
Okay.
But the thing that sets them all apart is kind of the ending of all of those movies, where things like the climax of like all their gangster activities happen. And we're making jokes about this, like like earlier. We're like, any rule that is made in the very beginning of any gangster movie is like the one rule they break towards the end.
Yeah, you don't kill a made man. What happens?
You don't mess with the families. Yeah. Right.
Guess what? A made man dies.
Oh no! What? You killed somebody from another family?
Yeah. Guess what? The family.
No!
Family gets messed with. Oh my god!
Oh my god! How did this happen?
I say it's quite similar though because Goodfellas is based on a true story. So is Casino.
Okay.
They have the same actors to a certain extent. They use a lot of the same actors. Mm-hmm. Martin Scorsese, and they kind of have like similar, like just stories in general, where it's like this family rises.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Rises to power quickly,
whatever, and then you see like kind of the downfall of it or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was actually fucking great. I thought it was shot beautifully. I like to see.
It is Martin Scorsese and is like the peak of his career.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not like a fucking movie buff or anything. I'm just telling you what this normal guy. I just said I wasn't.
Normal dude.
Yeah. It was a good time though, and it's funny. Because right in the beginning, the first 5 seconds of the movie, somebody gets blown up in a car. You could totally tell it's a dummy. It's so hilarious.
Listen, Steve.
Totally tell it's a dummy.
There was this, back in the day, things were a little less defined, okay? Mm-hmm. It wasn't like HD.
Uh-huh.
So they could get away with stuff like that, okay?
Yeah,
you get away with the really crappy cross-cut. Mm-hmm. It goes from like the real car to the fake car.
I want to say,
and it blows it up.
They
didn't think you'd catch it.
I want to say people in the theater were just like, "That was a dummy."
I really don't.
That was a fucking dummy. I want my money back. No, but it does. It's 3 hours long, right? I didn't want to start the movie because it was 3 hours long. I just put it on, stayed up till like 4 a.m. watching that shit. It was like enthralling the whole time. It doesn't feel like a 3 hour movie. It was almost like when I watched Goodfellas, and I was just like, dude, that movie was so short because it was just shit happening constantly all the time. If you like let me say this before, whatever. If you like Goodfellas, and if you thought, hey, Robert De Niro was fucking great in that movie, and I would love to see more of him, you should watch. I would recommend Casino because he's the main character in Casino, and he gets a lot of screen time, and it's definitely one of those movies where you come out of it saying like, okay, I understand why Robert De Niro is highly revered as a great actor because he's a good actor. He's great in it. Joe Pesci too. Joe Pesci does a great job. But yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it.
If you're into that sort of stuff, that gangster movie, definitely watch it. Mm-hmm. This is kind of the whole like, this is Joe Pesci, this is Robert De Niro in their element. This is what they're known for.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've seen Joe Pesci in other stuff.
Yeah.
Not so great. I've seen Robert De Niro in stuff that isn't a super hardcore gangster thing.
Home Alone. Is that what you're saying? Joe Pesci?
I mean, his comedic chops in that thing.
Were you scared, Marvin?
Yeah, it's kind of the same deal. Like, he's just the boss. Even though he's, like, shorter than everybody else, he has this kind of Napoleon complex. He's like, what are you scared, man? Are you afraid? Yeah. I'm going to get that kid, It's like, I'm the boss, kind of thing. But even on some of the, like, remember when he was on Lethal Weapon as well, back in the day, and just, like, Joe Pesci, no offense to the guy, he's a great actor when it comes to his roles. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I don't think, it's like Robert De Niro does his thing. He does his, like, I'm a crime boss thing.
Yeah.
Very good. Love it. But outside of that, I'm like, not so much.
Well, that's why I'm saying these movies are great for them. It really highlights their
niche.
Yeah, yes, they're really good at that. It's fucking great. And Robert De Niro wears about 50 suits throughout the whole movie. So if you like looking at nice suits, which I do.
Hey man, I got a nice suit here, all right?
Yeah.
I don't got no blood on it.
It's fucking great.
I mean, look at this. He got blood all over my suit.
Without sounding too artsy and fartsy. It was like when Robert De Niro had a certain suit on, you were like, shit's going down. He's wearing an all red suit with black. He's the fucking devil right now. He's gonna go nuts.
He's gonna kill somebody.
Yeah, he's wearing like a blue suit, you're like, oh, okay, it's nice. It's a nice De Niro. It's a nice De Niro.
There's no such thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so that about wraps it up for this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. In short, what do we even talk about? Comic-Con, something like that. What do we do here? Donald Duck.
We talked about Donald Duck. We talked about James Gunn. We talked about Comic-Con.
Yeah.
We talked. Then we got this Casino for some reason.
Yeah. I guess the only thing we're recommending is Casino. Would you recommend it, Ernie?
I would recommend it, especially if you like, if you want to see Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, all of them in their prime. Watch that movie because it's like part of that whole mob. What do I want to say? Era when people were all enthralled with this. You got to see them. Although skip Godfather Part 3.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to see all of these things, but like, I mean, do I think it's Joe Pesci's absolute best role? I don't know, because he was great in The Godfather.
I think it's amazing that these are all true stories.
Goodfellas. Goodfellas. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's his best role, but it is a great role for him.
Yeah, I would recommend Casino. What's funny is like Scarface got recommended to me because Netflix just recommends shit.
Sure.
Right? I saw Scarface and I kind of just thought the last scene was the only good part of it. Like, I know Scarface is a classic, but I was just kind of like
Scarface is a slow. Would you agree it's a slow burn?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't very. It wasn't like Goodfellas where like it was exciting every 2 seconds. It was, and you know what? A lot of it might be the fact that like.
That movie was ruined for you. That's what it is.
That's the other thing too. Is that like I mean that happened to me with Godfather 1 as well. Is like all the parts that were supposedly cool were kind of ruined already, like horse in the bed or whatever.
And it's like whenever you see a picture or any kind of reference to Scarface, it's always that last scene.
Yeah,
so you kind of assume that maybe the whole movie is like that when that becomes the climax of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just sitting there kind of waiting. He's like, when is he gonna say the line and say hello, my little friend?
No, yeah, definitely. That's definitely true.
So unfortunately, it got ruined for you. Like I was when I watched, I was like, this is good. Like if I saw this and it's such a slow burn and Tony Montana is quick to anger, but he's so calculated and like. He takes his licks, but he keeps coming back. He's like, it's like watching the American Dream, but like the bad version of it.
Yeah, well,
he comes from nothing and is able to build this empire.
I guess it's just because I don't really like that Tony Montana just pissed all the time. It's almost like if you take Joe Pesci in any gangster movie and just make a movie about him, because it's like in Casino especially, it's like. The way that they describe Joe Pesci is like, he's like, oh, if you punch, he would go up and punch people in the faces that were bigger than him, and he was like, and if you punched him in the face, he came back with a knife, and it's like if you came back with the knife at him, he's like he comes back with the gun. He's just never gonna stop until you're dead. Kind of thing. Dead. Yeah, well, he's not the main character though, He's got, like, Robert De Niro to kind of contradict him, and that's what's cool about it. Scarface is just like this guy that's pissed off the whole fucking movie, so it's a little top-heavy to me.
It's the rise and fall of Tony Montana.
It's a little top-heavy to me, and I don't know, I was also going to say, too, it's like, maybe it's the shock value is a little less potent now, because it's like, more violent stuff has come out since then. I don't know. Whatever.
That scene is pretty... I don't know if you remember exactly how violent it is. Pretty violent. Even for that time, it's pretty violent.
Sure, I guess. I mean, I'm not trying to sound all edgy and shit. I hate violence, personally.
I think even for the time, it's pretty jarring to see that.
That's what I'm saying. For the time, sure, but like, I don't know. There's more violent shit nowadays. It's not as... Yeah, I don't know.
I think you've seen it referenced too much, and it's just dulled your experience. Because if you hadn't seen it, and you saw it for the first time without any kind of reference, and you're like, dude, they did this back then.
There's a scene with the chainsaw right in the beginning,
yeah,
and they cut away from it. You don't get to see it,
of course, because it's like it's too much. But then you see all that.
But there's movies that do that, like so.
Sure, if you want to see that, you'll watch Saw. And
whatever.
Hostel and all
whatever.
That. But
okay, we're getting off topic.
How are we getting off topic?
Because we were supposed to end the podcast already.
The podcast.
The podcast, sorry.
Podcast.
Because it's filmed at the pad. Alright, that's it. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to end on such a sour note. But that does it for this week, guys. See you next week.
See you next week, guys.